we started to realize it wasn't just a misunderstanding, that there was something going on here, there was a problem. And one of the founding members of the APA was able to engage the New York Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman, and have him raid an engineering firm and walk out with their files. And they went back a week later and walked out one of their managers in handcuffs for changing reports. And what we saw was there was a vast conspiracy to underpay people. Part of it was because of issues with the law. Part of it was because of profit motives. And basically what they were doing is they were changing engineer reports that said that this house was damaged by the storm. In some cases, they would change it to just add the word not. This house was not damaged by the storm. Or they would use a concept, a clause within the insurance policies that was called earth movement. If there was shifting of the supporting soils, there was pre-existing condition. They actually hired a firm, an engineering firm, who did that to me. And they said this was all existing there, these giant cracks in your foundation, this big hole underneath where the water rushed into your crawl space was pre-existing, except I had just bought my house. I had inspection reports and pictures showing none of that existed.
Well, some of it was the engineers, but some of it was the engineers writing basically falsified reports, but it was also the insurance company actually physically changing some of these reports, correct?
It was the engineering firms and further up the line. So yes, we did have some engineers who, listen, there's insurer bias, that they have bias toward the people writing the check. But there were some engineers who wrote perfectly good reports. We have the reports to compare side by side, and it would go back to their firm and they would do a process called peer review, which is legitimate. Other engineers who never visited the property would read the report, would look at the pictures and the supporting information and recommend changes. But that original engineer has to sign off on the changes they make. In some cases that wasn't happening, or they were even forging that signature, or when it went to the insurance company, there was allegations that they were changing it there. So we caught them in massive fraud. We were able to get 144,000 claims reopened, north of $350 million of extra money paid out to people who had been cheated. And what we had decided was, we just said, listen, there's a whole bunch of us fighting this in silos. We should work together, because the carriers are certainly working together, because we see this happening all over the country. You think it's like TV, where the newspaper, Scoop McGettigan writes a story and then it changes everything and the politicians change the law and it never happens again. Bullshit. We see this happening all over America. They got caught over here. Well, they get caught elsewhere too, because there is very little incentive for them, because again, before the APA, nobody was following up on this. There's very little incentive for them to not cheat, because there are no consequences. So what we say with insurance fraud, it should not be a civil suit. You actually need to have criminal charges as a deterrent to more people's lives being ruined. So that was when we got together. We formed the APA, and our professional members who fund the mission. We don't take money from the government. We don't take money from insurance companies. The people who fund our mission are people like yourselves. Each of you, Matt and Vince, are members of the APA who pay dues to protect your consumers against getting defrauded. Yep, got that pretty little hat there. So listen, the people who are making a living in this industry are the ones who say, listen, here's how I'm going to give back. My consumers, the people who put food on my table, are getting taken advantage of by one of the most powerful industries in the country. I'm going to stand with other members of my professional community and defend them. I'm going to contribute some of my time, some of my energy, some of my money, and do more than just focus on myself. I'm going to do something for the American policyholder, because this is what's right. And that's what we do in America, right? We stand up against injustice. We stand up against large government and corporate entities who are abusing people at the most vulnerable moments of their lives and taking advantage of them. And it is only the people in this industry that have the ability to do that, because you're in the trenches every day and you see it. And now you're an APA member, you pipeline that information directly to the APA, and we have a means to do something about it.